Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Tengu Otogi Zoushi. Today we're starting on Asahi's route, and this might actually only be 1 or 2 videos, I'm not sure, because I'm going to be skipping previously read material that we read in Yamabuki's line. And these are all pretty short stories, so there might not be all that much individual material for each guy. We'll see. Obviously, since I can't show the endings, that's a good chunk of material that I can't share. But I wanted to tell you something interesting, because after I finished that last video, I went ahead to check out the good ending for Yamabuki, and then I went to check out his bad ending. And when I went to check out his bad ending, it turns out that you get a few extra CGs that you didn't get the first time around. I don't know if the game got updated, or if that's just the function of the game that you get extra CGs the second time you play around or something. But whatever the case, you'll get to see one of them at least along our route starting with Asahi here. So without further ado, let us begin. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. And start skipping first. Yep, and see, during this first choice, we now have this picture, which I'm pretty sure we didn't have the first time. Like here this time, instead of saying, "Who are you?" I have to say, "I'm gonna call somebody." Step closer, and I'll call somebody. There's no use. Everyone is asleep with my spell. Oh, gosh darn it, you got me there. The man finally spoke as I stepped back. Spell? That's impossible. You're talking to a man with wings. I'm not human. It is possible for me. Not human? You see the wings? I had no idea what he meant. He had wings, but wasn't it just an imitation? Oh yeah, so some of these scenes are gonna, even though I have the forwarding function on, it's still gonna reread some of the parts of the scene, so because I have a horrible memory and I'm not sure how much text is what I read before, I'm just gonna go ahead and read what it shows me. Skipping some more. And this time I had to say, "Is it okay to eat?" I was like, "What? Is it poison, maybe? Is this okay to eat?" I was worried there might be something inside. Even if there was, do you think he would tell you if you just asked? What, aren't you eating? He looked at me and asked suspiciously. He took his package out from his kimono, grabbed a rice ball, glanced at me, and took a bite. Was he trying to prove this wasn't poisoned? Well, maybe his isn't, but that doesn't mean mine isn't. Thank you. It tasted like the usual rice I always had. More skipping. And this time we have to choose. It's scary. It's scary. I clung tight to Yamabuki-san. Scary? Why? Looking down at the capital like this is rude to the Emperor. It's rude to the Emperor to fly over his castle and look down on it. I was looking down at the Imperial Palace where the Emperor was. There was no way such insolence would be forgiven. They look all the same to me. That's because you're a Tengu. I was startled by what I had said. There was no way he would understand the way of a human. Yet, I said it in such a cold way. I'm sorry, I said it in such a harsh way. Humans seem to be frustrating. It must be hard to live with such chains around yourselves. So many rules. Yamabuki-san let out a short sigh and shut up. We skipped a tiny bit, and then we choose if it's in secret. I have to specify that. It's okay, as long as you come in secret so the people of the mountain don't realize. I will do so. He made a gentle smile. My heart pounded, as he had always been expressionless. I'll go back to the mountain. Bye-bye. His expression vanished again as he flew away. He was scary at first, but I started to think he was just clumsy with people. Am I thinking that I want to know more about Yamabuki-san? No, you want to know about Asahi. I touched my chest and noticed it was beating fast. My face is hot. I touched my cheek to notice it was burning. And at this choice, we actually had to go ahead and admit that it was Tengu. Actually, I was taken by a Tengu. Father blinked again and again at my confession. Taken by a Tengu? A Tengu appeared and took me away. Father's face went pale. You were kidnapped by an Ayakashi. Oh no, my daughter has bathed in impurity. Father started to touch me again to check for any changes. He let me go when I asked to go home. To be sure, you should confine yourself for a while. What about your duty at court music? My daughter was taken by an Ayakashi. We must take the impurity away from the mansion. Yamabuki-san didn't seem to be an evil Ayakashi, but we better have the impurity taken away. And skipping again. And this time we say I understand. What was that dream? That was one of those dreams that Asahi showed us. The sound of a bell and a voice calling my name in the deep fog. The arm that reached out from beyond the fog was white as snow. What would have happened if that hand grabbed me? The image flashed back and I shuddered. This nervous feeling didn't seem to go away. Let's see. I have to choose. Maybe I'm taking it too seriously. 'Cause we don't want Asahi-san to go away. We want to be with him. Kagetoki-sama asked to tell him if anything should happen, but perhaps I'm taking it too seriously. He always looks so busy, and I couldn't make him worry about me. Kagetoki-sama is busy with his work at the Onmyoro. I don't want to trouble him. I'm overly nervous because the mansion is quiet due to confinement. I'll be alright with Kagetoki-sama's shield. 4 pieces of paper talisman were on the corners of the room. He said the shield would keep Ayakashi away. There's still time till dinner. I shall practice my dance. I stood up and opened my fan. I had to make this perfect before the Niname festival. I would fail if I had unnecessary thoughts. And trailing off again. 2 more skipping the dream once again. And our first meeting with Asahi-san. No, somebody! Step by step, the man closed in. I wanted to run, but I couldn't move. I panicked by the second. My hands against the pillar were sweating. No. The man reached the bottom of the stairs and stepped up. Please, don't. Don't be afraid. I wanted to look away, but I couldn't even move my neck. Help! The face that flashed into my head. I have to choose Father! Father! Father's face flashed into my mind. Father? Well, perhaps better than calling other men's names. The man shook his shoulder. A great wind burst toward the man. Huh? The man made a long leap back and punched his right hand up into the sky. A white light attacked the man, but was repelled by an invisible shield. Yikes! My hair and kimono wavered along with the partition in my room. Grrr. Kagetoki-sama Shiki? Did you save me? The Shiki was about 5 inches tall before, but now it was bigger. White flames around its arms and legs, it was menacing the man.
Sumire! Are you alright, Sumire?
From down the hall, Kagetoki-sama and Father rushed toward me. Kagetoki-sama! Father! Kagetoki-sama stood beside me and frowned.
Are you under a spell?
Yes, I can't move. Kagetoki-sama made a sign with his fingers and cut the air with his arm. I heard something pop inside me. That sounds painful. Inside me? I can move. I still felt a little numb, but I could move my fingers.
I broke the spell. Stand down.
Kagetoki-sama took out a talisman from his kimono.
Kagetoki Dono came to check on you before going to the palace. Thank goodness he came.
Father held my shoulder with his arm and made a sigh of relief. Thank you, Kagetoki-sama.
Thank goodness you're safe.
I have to say, he's a strong Ayakashi. Please be careful. He's a strong Ayakashi.
I know. I've never felt such strong powers before.
Kagetoki-sama said in a low voice and nodded.
However, I am Onmyoji. No matter what that is, I'll destroy it.
Well, you have a lot of confidence, don't ya?
Grrr.
The small ogre growled again. Ogre's not the appropriate word. What's wrong? I looked at the garden, still smoking.
Well, oh well. Who would be so rude enough to interrupt the love of others?
A bright laughter sounded from behind the smoke.
You call yourself Onmyoji with such weak powers?
He laughed, narrowing his eyes. A beast's ears and 3 tails? He has pointy beast ears, the same color as his hair, and has 3 tails. Just like a fox.
Indeed. I am a fox Ayakashi.
The man nodded and made an elegant bow.
My name is Asahi, the fox Ayakashi.
His smile was gentle, but he had an evil sense behind it.
Sumire, stand back!
Father cried out and told me to hide in the back of the room. I'll stay with Kagetoki-sama. I couldn't leave him alone. He came for me.
What would a fox Ayakashi want with Sumire?
Don't you know she's got spiritual powers that are very tasty? I've been interested in her since she was a child. There's no other human with such strong Kengi powers. Are you going to eat me? Asahi-san blinked several times at my words and burst out laughing. Oh, I would never do such a thing. Then why? Asahi-san stared at me. I heard that a Tengu wants to marry you. How do you know that? Oh, I know everything about you. Asahi-san's smile was even bigger. A Tengu wants to marry Sumire? Yes, a Tengu once kidnapped me. Why didn't you tell me this? I'm sorry, he let me go when I said I wanted to participate in the Goseiji dance. That story I shall hear later. Now, the Fox Ayakashi. Kagetoki-sama faced Asahi-san. I came over so the Tengu wouldn't take you away from me. I want you to marry me. I'm so popular. What? I opened my eyes wide at his sudden words. Nonsense. She's my wife. I'm not your wife yet. But no, the choice we have to make is, we're friends from childhood. We're just friends from childhood. That was kind of mean. I mean to say that here in this situation, but oh well. Well, but we're engaged as well, he added. Yes, I know. Your parents agreed with this, right? So if you know, just give up. Obstacles are the perfect spice for love. It's getting me on fire already. Oh, he's getting excited. Asahi-san smirked and spread his arms. I won't go with you. I promise you a better life than now. I don't want to be rich. Fox Ayakashi are getting fewer and fewer. I need someone with strong powers like you to bring me a child. So, that was Asahi-san's plan. He was trying to use me as a tool to bear his children. He wants me to be his brood mother. You don't even like me, do you? I'll do what I can. Humans marry each other without love, don't they? Asahi-san was right. Girls of noble families were to marry ones chosen by her parents, or marry with a man who would visit her to make love for 3 consecutive nights. Well, I suppose we talk too much. The air surrounding Asahi-san changed. I had goosebumps and shivers. Father's arm around me was shaking. May the presiders over the warriors be my vanguard. Kagetoki-sama chanted the kuji and threw his talisman. He then quickly made signs with his fingers. Whoa! An explosion occurred and almost blew me away. Go! Kagetoki-sama ordered to the small ogre. It dashed to Asahi-san and attacked with his sharp nails. You're in the way. Asahi-san muttered and reached his right hand out. Eep! I'm just gonna say Shiki. The small Shiki was covered with blue flame and was turned into ashes. Here's one for you. What? I couldn't even see his move. Asahi-san jumped close to Kagetoki-sama and smiled. Homage to the all-pervading Vajras, O violent one of great wrath. Destroy— Ugh! Too slow. Kagetoki-sama was blown away, not able to avoid the flame coming in from such a short distance. Kagetoki-sama! I'm all right. He was blown away and landed close to where I was. He coughed and sat up. Very well done. I didn't think you could break that fall. Stop talking. 5 talismans landed around Asahi-san to form a pentagram shield. Run! Run while I keep in track with my shield. All right. I tried to leave the room with Father. Where are you going? What? The shield! The 5 talismans burned into blue flame. Asahi-san stepped onto the duckboard with a cool face. The room is shielded. You won't be able to come in. You call this a shield? The moment Asahi-san stepped into the room, the 4 pieces of paper in the corners of the room burned up. What? My shield? Destroyed? Yeah, you're not a very good onmyoji. The weakest Ayakashi could break this shield. You really have no talent as an onmyoji. Asahi-san shrugged and gave a long sigh. What? I just told you the truth. Don't disturb me, weak human. I'll make you regret that you insulted me. Kagetoki-sama formed a sign with his fingers and released a spell with his face all red. Asahi-san repelled the spell easily and leapt. You could have lived if you just handed her over. Asahi-san's fingernails extended in an instant and slashed Kagetoki-sama from shoulder to chest. Blood spilled and stained the floor. Stop it! As Kagetoki-sama started to fall forward, Asahi-san slashed again. His kimono was torn and blood-stained. You should know how weak you are. Asahi-san looked at him and laughed merrily.
Ugh.
Kagetoki-sama fell to his knees, covered with wounds, and moaned. He's killing Kagetoki-sama. I have to help him.
Let's finish this.
Asahi-san raised his arm to end Kagetoki-sama's life. Stop it!
Sumire!
I ignored father's halt and stood in front of Kagetoki-sama.
Watch out, Sumire!
Asahi-san's sharp nails stopped right before stabbing my chest.
You should be careful.
Asahi-san pulled his arm back and frowned. I will if you stop hurting Kagetoki-sama. My heart was pounding and I was panting. Although I wasn't hurt, my body was trembling. Kagetoki-sama stood in front of me and spread his arms to protect me.
Don't take it the wrong way, but I dislike conflict.
Asahi-san sighed as he returned his nails to the normal length. Will you spare Kagetoki-sama if I go with you?
Sumire, what are you saying? Sumire!
I heard Kagetoki-sama and father yelling behind me. I don't want people to get hurt because of me. I'll be your wife. Asahi-san made a broad smile as if he was waiting for those words.
I promise you a better life than now.
Yes, you already promised me that before.
No, Sumire, don't go!
Kagetoki-sama grabbed my kimono. I'm sorry. I stepped out. I couldn't look back.
Let's go on.
Asahi-san reached out, and I took his hand. He pulled me into his arms.
Sumire!
I'll make sure your daughter's happy.
Don't go! Why doesn't my body move?
Kagetoki-sama tried to move to stop me from going. Goodbye. I closed my eyes to bid them farewell.
Goodbye, everybody.
A blue flame arose from below and covered my body. As the flame hid my vision, I passed out. I think maybe I can read a little bit more and still be okay. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of the story in here. Asahi-san ran through the city and into the woods with my body in his arms. Where are we going?
South into Fushimi.
Fushimi was an independent village outside of Heian-kyo. Is Inari Mountain your home, Asahi-san? In Fushimi was 3 peaks called Inari, where the god of 5 pillars has been enshrined. Asahi-san was a fox Ayakashi, so he might be related to the kin of Inari god.
Well, unfortunately, farther than that.
But the kin of Inari god are foxes, right?
They hate me.
What? Why? You're so cute. What?
It's almost Inari Mountain.
A white light emerged to block our path. Yikes! Asahi-san jumped back so we weren't hit.
How rude to attack without a word.
Asahi-san put me down and stepped forward.
Silence.
There stood somebody that could be a man or woman with pure white hair. The ears and its 4 tails were the same color of the hair. They seemed to be the same fox Ayakashi. However, the eyes were full of hostility toward Asahi-san.
What do you want, Osaki Toga?
Osaki Toga, a kin of the Inari god, right?
He is a Tenko, named Osuki, more than 1,000 years old. Oh, I have seen everything through my eyes. Asahi, I forbid you to take that girl.
Osuki-sama said with no intonation, and narrowed his golden eyes.
Nothing to do with Tenko, no. You refuse to do as I say.
Gold mist arose from the ground and covered Osuki-sama's body.
A filthy wild fox like you is no match for me. I myself am a great Ayakashi, more than 800 years old. Don't underestimate me.
Why do you have to fight? I was completely confused.
I'm sorry. I'll tell you later, so wait for a moment.
Asahi-san looked back and apologized. Asahi-san? Asahi-san closed in with one leap, formed a symbol with his hand, and attacked Osuki-sama with a white light.
Huh.
He slashed with his long nails, but was easily avoided by Osuki-sama.
You can't play tricks with me.
The moment Osuki-sama yelled, the light shattered.
Wha? Ugh.
Osuki-sama's body blurred for a moment and jumped close to Asahi-san. He breathed gold flame and surrounded Asahi-san with it.
Your moves are getting slow, Asahi.
Asahi-san held his chest and leapt back.
You made a shield in advance, knowing I would pass.
A shield? Where? I looked around to find a slightly gold line on the ground. It was a complex figure written on the ground around us.
My eyes see everything.
You may be a god's kin, but your eyes aren't perfect. Asahi-san smirked and created many balls of blue flame.
Your attacks are useless. I know.
The flames moved to surround Osuki-sama from 4 directions and one exploded. I raised both arms and closed my eyes. I held my breath so as not to breathe the smoke. What? My body floated. I opened one eye to see Asahi-san holding me in his arms.
Let's escape.
A distraction? Wait, Asahi! Asahi-san threw a ball of fire behind as he ran away in the smoke. Yeah, so that was as far as I could go, definitely. But there is more to Asahi than we had seen so far, so it's definitely worth checking out his story, I think. I like him. He had his reasons for doing what he did. And I think some of you all might like him too if you actually read his full story. Which, like I said, it's short, but it's still nice. So the next video, I'll go ahead and do Chitose. I had a feeling Asahi's route is probably the shortest one, so the other guys probably have more material. I don't know if there'll be 1 or 2 videos. We'll see. We'll see when the time comes for it. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye, everybody.